Okay, April 24th. 1800, John Adams signs the bill that would create the Library of Congress. And when it was set up, it had 740 books and 3 maps. And all this was stored in Congress. The original intent was that this was the Library of Congress. So these were books on topics that they felt like congressmen and senators needed access to do research and to study and for the events of the day. In 1814, when the British came through and burned Washington, they burned the library, and they burned. They lost everything, and so within a month, Thomas Jefferson offered to sell his collection, his library collection, to the Library of Congress to reestablish it. So that was in 1815. They accepted his offer. It was 6,487 books. So they went from a library, but it was probably 1,000 books by the time the British burned it, but to 6,487 books that Thomas Jefferson sold them. Of course, he kept his most important books, but he was willing to get rid of 6,487 books. But this became a much bigger library because he had books on meteorology and fossils and submarines and hot air balloons and music and all these topics that he'd become interested in. So it expanded the influence of the Library of Congress beyond what the original intent was. So the Library of Congress stayed in the Capitol. It wasn't until the late 19th century that money was appropriated to actually build a new building for the Library of Congress. So that's what I have for you today. In 1800, John Adams signs the bill that establishes the Library of Congress. I will see you tomorrow.